Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are all enjoying your day. Today, we're going to be looking at your winter storm Kade forecast. And instead of what we've been doing the past 2 days or so with my winter storm Kade forecast, where we've only been talking about the first part of winter storm Kade, I'm actually going to be going over the second part of winter storm Kade. All of this is the second part of winter storm Kade, and it's going to actually lead to a lot more snow over the interior and northeast as well. So we're going to be talking about all of that. I will also have my second part of winter storm Kade forecast at the end of the video, so make sure you are staying tuned all the way until the end. Now, before we do get into it, I do want to say I am still sick. Unfortunately, I'm feeling better, but my voice is actually getting worse. So, unfortunate here, but I'm going to try and make it through this video, and hopefully you guys can also make it through this video with me. We have a lot of stuff to cover in this video. Now, we're going to get right into it here with the National Weather Service page. We have avalanche warnings, flood watches over parts of the Pacific Northwest, especially for Washington there. And then we have winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, winter storm watches, and high wind warnings and watches for parts of the Northwest not associated with winter storm Kade. We have hard freeze warnings and freeze warnings over parts of Arizona, as well as this large area here with a lot of warnings and advisories for parts of the eastern United States, and all of that is winter storm Kade right here. So we have winter storm warnings still in effect for parts of North Texas and into central Oklahoma, where this is going to be wrapping up, where you've seen about 6 inches in some areas and a little bit more even in some of these areas. We have another pocket of winter storm warnings for parts of North Maine, northern New Hampshire through northern Vermont and northern upstate New York. And then we have this large swath here moving all the way from Texas through into Oklahoma, Missouri, and through into Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and into parts of Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York, and through all of New England, where you're experiencing some winter weather advisories because of this wintry precipitation. And areas, especially if you live in this area, it's not going to be more for the snow. It's going to be more for actually the freezing rain that's going to be associated with the system. So a lot of freezing rain and inclement weather over parts of the central and eastern United States. As well, we have flood watches spanning from the panhandle of Florida all the way up into New Jersey and Pennsylvania, where you are going to be experiencing some very heavy downpours and even some severe weather reaching all the way up into Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. So definitely something you don't see too much in February, and we're going to be going over that in the first part of today's video. We also have tornado watches in effect for parts of Louisiana and Mississippi, and then we also have a couple tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. So if you do live in those areas, make sure you are paying attention to your local National Weather Service, and make sure that you do have your alerts on so you do get notified when you are under a tornado warning, which means that you have a funnel cloud spotted, which is indicating a tornado potential, and then or you also have a confirmed tornado on the ground. So those are the only two reasons they would issue a tornado warning. So if they do issue a tornado warning for you, it's definitely you have to get to the interior most part of your house, and then also make sure there's no windows in the room, and also try to get to the lowest level you can. So let's get into your severe weather side of this. But first, we are going to be going over your surface analysis map. We have three low pressure systems, or four low pressure systems actually, over parts of the southeast here. And they're very weak low pressure systems. Your main low pressure systems are here in parts of Mississippi and Louisiana, where you are going to be experiencing. This is going to be like the main system here that's going to be pushing to the north, and it's going to be bringing all this Gulf moisture with it. So that is definitely going to help intensify this system. Here's your Storm Prediction Center. This is your reports of severe weather. In the greens, you have hail reports. In the blues, you have wind reports. And in the reds, you have tornado reports. We have 3 tornado reports. We have 6 hail reports, and we also have, we have 21 hail reports, and we have 6 wind reports. And then the confirmed reports, we have 3 confirmed tornadoes, 3 confirmed wind reports, and 20 confirmed hail reports. But we'll go to the unfiltered ones here, and you see there's many about the size of a quarter for hail size, 1 1/4 inch hail size, $half hail size. I was looking at this. There's 1 inch hail size. And there's just a lot of very large hail sizes, golf ball hail, hail, and it's very widespread over these areas into Louisiana and Arkansas and into Mississippi, where you're seeing the most hail reports. So definitely a very active weather over parts of the South Central. Now, Here's the Storm Prediction Center's categorical outlook, and this is for today. You see, we have a slight risk in this yellow, and that's over much of the southeast for parts of Alabama, the Panhandle of Florida, even up into Tennessee, Mississippi, and through Louisiana. And we even have an enhanced risk over parts of central Mississippi, and into northern Alabama there. And we even have a 10% chance of a tornado here, which is very high for February. And in that hatched area, in that little black hashtag area there, that is indicating, and you have a 10% or greater chance of seeing an EF2 to EF5 tornado within that area. So that's basically saying that they see increased probability of seeing more significant tornadoes. And EF2 to EF5, even EF2s, are very disastrous if you do live in any of these areas. Now, for wind, you have about 15% chance in this yellow, and wind hasn't really been the big story here, but it's been the hail, and I'm surprised they haven't upgraded this to about a 30 to 45% chance, because there's been a lot of hail, and I think the hail's kind of been overdone today with how much hail reports we've seen and how large the hail was that we've been seeing. Now, here is for tomorrow. We even have an enhanced risk for parts of Georgia, South Carolina, through North Carolina, and into parts of Florida. And then we have a slight risk kind of surrounding that into the Carolinas for the most of Florida, actually, and then through Alabama and a little bit there of Georgia. You're under a slight risk, and for tornadoes, you have 5% chance, but this will probably get upgraded to maybe a 10% chance. Wind looks to be the bigger threat here for once you get into tomorrow, a 30% chance all the way for those areas in the slight risk, and then we have less than 5% chance for hail. So hail's not going to be the big issue here as you get into tomorrow. Now let's get into your simulated radar here from the European model. As you see, this is basically what's going on right now. We have this very heavy snowfall starting to move into parts of the Great Lakes here, and this would be by this evening, now getting into tomorrow morning. You're starting to see it move more into the northeast, and then you're seeing that icy precipitation move over areas closer to the Great Lakes. Now, through the interior northeast, you're seeing some pretty good snowfall rates, and this is going to continue. Also, look at the southeast and mid-Atlantic, where you're experiencing very heavy rainfall rates. So it's going to be definitely a very wet day for you guys down there for multiple days if you do live in the southeast or mid-Atlantic. Now, as we get into your Friday morning, we're going to start to see ice starting to develop over parts of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, through upstate New York and into northern Pennsylvania. And you have that snow still for the northern portions of that area. And as we continue this, snow turns all snow on the backside of this for many of these areas into the northeast. But that's going to be some light snow for the most part until you get into the interior northeast, and then by Saturday morning it's pretty much all said and done. So here's your total snowfall in the Mid-Atlantic, or this is at least a good view. They call it the Mid-Atlantic, but it's more of a Great Lakes or central U.S. View, and it shows you have about 2 to 6 inches in this blue. So they show that kind of stretching all the way down here. As you'll see in my forecast, I'm putting it a little bit further to the north, but I do think West Virginia and the Appalachian Mountains could definitely squeeze out 1 to 3 inches, and even some isolated 3+ inches. As you get into parts of the northeast, we'll zoom in on there now. You see, we have some very heavy amounts out of the European model. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but it is definitely a possibility that we have to be aware of, that you could see some at least 1.5 foot amounts pretty widespread in these areas. And they've been pretty certain on this. This is only under 3 days out, and the models have been showing this for a good 4 or 5 days, that there's going to be a lot of snowfall, at least over parts of the northeastern United States, the interior northeast. Now, let's get into my personal forecast for this event, which is going to show you storm track, snowfall, ice, and then rainfall at the end. So this is going from the 5th through the 8th here at the bottom. Your low pressure system, I'm going to put it right around Louisiana for now, but definitely it's really uncertain where this low pressure is currently sat up. It could be over northeast Mississippi, but still that wouldn't really change the outcome of this of a storm too much, depending on where it is currently. Now, It's going to track through the Tennessee and Ohio Valley, up the spine of the Appalachians, and into parts of the Northeast. Now, here's your snowfall, under an inch of snowfall here, anywhere in this light blue area, finishing up in the south central United States, and then moving through the Great Lakes and into the Northeast, the interior Northeast, where you're expecting under an inch of snowfall. 1 to 3 inches of snowfall. We have one area here for parts of West Virginia, Maryland, the higher elevations, seeing 1 to 3 inches, as well as an area there from Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, through the interior Northeast. And then 3 to 6 inches here for parts of Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, through upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And we even have a 6 to 12 inch area here, and this is for northern Maine, northern New Hampshire, much of Vermont, and into parts of upstate New York, not even that far north in upstate New York. Now we even have a 12 to 18 inch area for the northernmost parts of upstate New York, northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and into northern and interior Maine, where you are going to be expecting, at least right now, to see 12 to 18 inches of snowfall, so a foot to a foot and a half of snowfall, and I could definitely, definitely a possibility that I do raise these numbers to maybe even an 18 to 24 inch layer, which I don't think I've ever used on this channel. Now, under a tenth of an inch of ice here for parts of southern New England through northern New Jersey and southern upstate New York, and then we have we have between a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice over parts of northern New Jersey and into southern upstate New York, where you are going to be expecting a pretty good dose of ice there. Now we have some rainfall, a lot of rainfall actually associated with this system. So we have, here's your under an inch layer. Now let's add 1 to 2 inches here. Your more significant rainfalls gonna be in this area over the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and even stretching into parts of the northeast there. We have a 2 to 3 inch area here for parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic, and still stretching into parts of the northeast. And then we have 3 to 5 inches here for a very widespread area. I think this is the most widespread area I've ever put 3 to 5 inches for, and this is for parts of anywhere from southern New Jersey up through into parts of Delaware, Maryland, through Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and through Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and also for Tennessee and Kentucky there. 5 to 8 inches even for parts of the Panhandle of Florida, where multiple models are showing that there's going to be quite a bit of rainfall here, where you are going to get that enhancement off the Gulf of Mexico, as well in the Appalachian Mountains in Tennessee, Kentucky, into Virginia and North Carolina, where I do expect you to get that increased lift, which actually allows, usually the higher in elevation you are, the more precipitation you get. So I'm thinking on the low end of this, 5 to 8 inches. I'm thinking more 5 inches, 5-6 inches if you on the highest, I think. But I've never ever pulled out this 5 to 8 inch area. This is the first time on this channel that I've pulled it out, so definitely very surprising here how impactful the storm is going to be. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video when I do upload. Now, I do apologize for that. That was my phone, but I really do appreciate you guys really staying through this video, and I really do apologize for my voice there. So hopefully my voice gets better, but we'll have to see, of course. So I hope I do get better, so that my videos and at least my voice can get a little bit better for you guys. Anyways, guys, that was Eli the Weather Guy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.